Sorry about that. Forgot to unmute. We'll start this over. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I hope that you had a chance to spend some good quality time with your loved ones. So, unfortunately, there are some folks who spent a fair amount of time using the Christmas holidays to attempt to cause problems for Unauthorized, for Archaven, for me, and for Owen. And so what that means is that we have to start taking them more seriously, take them as seriously as we take our SJW opponents like Patreon and past opponents like Indiegogo and so forth. And so I'm going to say this once, and I know you guys are watching. I know you guys are listening. But what I'm telling you right now is that this is your one opportunity to come clean, to confess what you did, and to identify yourselves to us. And if you do that, if you come forward, take responsibility for your actions, then I give you my word, we will neither prosecute nor will we pursue you in civil courts. So you have 24 hours. And I'm going to explain some of what's going on so that you can follow this, everybody else. But here's what's going to happen to those who don't come forward. To the sneering little guys like the real Owen Benjamin on Reddit, and what's this ultra fuzzy foreigner on Reddit, and some of the others. What you may not realize is that we actually have now a lot of very good connections inside those companies, inside Google, inside Patreon, inside Indiegogo. And so I can't promise you that we will find you, but the chances are probably 60-40 that we will. Because I've done this before. We've hunted down people who were just anonymous blog commenters on Blogger. We had less access to their data than we have to yours. You might think that Reddit will protect you, but they won't. You might think that Google is not going to disclose your data. You understand they're in the business of selling your data. I can literally read you the emails of the people who emailed Indiegogo to try to where that came from and so forth. And, we work with a lot of companies. And some of them you know, some of them you don't. But in every situation, we know what you're doing. This isn't the first time that it's happened. And so, so to give you an example, there were 7 attempts to log in using my ID to one of the front ends. I got password reset requests. So we know that what they were trying to do is they were trying to log in using my access. we've gotten 4 attempts to break into the Archaven store, and we've got several emails to one service. We haven't received the. That's a violation of CFAA right there. Which CFAA? I don't know that acronym. But there's also been other stuff that I'm not going to go into, but what I will tell you are even more serious, even more ghastly, and also violate federal law, violate state law, and are grounds for civil penalties. Now you might, might think that I'm just talking. I mean, I know a lot of you are dumb enough to believe that I'm lying about things. You think that, I've seen what you've said about Indiegogo. I've seen what you've said about Patreon. And you're wrong. You're flat out wrong. I'll give you an example. Amanda Robb, no, Johnny, I do think that you know some things, but I think that you don't know the law. I think you don't know what you're permitted to do and what you're not permitted to do. Crypto Fashion was being attacked as well, and so anyhow. Now, I admit I'm not allowed to talk about certain things. If you're smart enough, then you'll know why. But it's all going to come out eventually. It's all going to come out eventually. And what I can tell you is that even those of you, I'd be willing to bet that most of you who hate Owen and who have been trying to attack him and discredit him on Reddit, most of you are going to be absolutely appalled, even horrified, by what some of your little buddies have been trying. And so, somebody said, is this the SJWs? I don't believe so. It's possible, but I think it's much more likely that it is some of these gamma trolls, probably some of the crazier Fuentes fans. We'll have to wait and see, but it's very clear that the attacks were coordinated, more or less. They weren't effective at all. Ron Jeremy says, let's have that bet, Vox. How can we bet? You're trying to hide your identity. You're hoping that you can hide your identity, but you'll be able to. Maybe you won't. But, we'll see. Yeah. Okay. They already got the the Zhoot obsessed guy. Anyhow, so what we're going to do first of all, and this is something that a lot of you can help out with, is we are now going to enforce copyright violations on all YouTube videos that show any clips from this or show any clips from Owen's stuff. So, so what you can do is you can go ahead and when you see a copyright violation from a channel like Davy Croco 2 or Davy Croco 3 or any of the other suspects, shoot me an email with the exact timestamp, etc., and the extension. Look up the YouTube copyright violation form, and then send it. Make sure that you provide all the information to me or to Owen, and then we will be sure to get the copyright violations registered. They will get strikes on their channels. Ask the questions repeatedly. I'm not obsessed with them. We work with them. We're going to be publishing a book by one of their writers. So, go ahead and attempt to generate a they're so anti-Semitic out of that. Don't. Axis Fiver's response was reasonable, Slapweasel. Go ahead and you don't need to time him out. No, I don't care about the drama. And when you guys understand the fullness of what's going on, you'll understand that we are now in no holds barred mode. Okay? And let me make it clear. Even if you think you have nothing to lose, even if you think that, oh, I don't have anything, I don't have any money and stuff, then we will garnish your wages. You will be paying for your actions, possibly for the rest of your life. And Agent Smith said, why would you single out Davy if what Davy says is not true? I'm single. It's not about the fans, obviously. So, anyhow, we have now 26 lawyers in the Legal Legion. We have them we have them all over the place. We have them in Europe. We have them in the UK. We have them in no, Davy does not tell the truth. And we will settle that. We're coming after Davy. Once we have his identity, then we can go ahead and get it. He's perfectly welcome to defend his defamation in court. When you don't seem to understand, for example, when you make a video and you say stupid stuff that's false, you can get away with it in the States to a certain degree. But here's the bad news, guys. Also, you're violating UK law if your video is in the UK. And it is much, much easier to win a defamation case in the UK. And you're also going to have to pay for it. And so old man fighting on you try to dox when you lose the battle idea. No, this has nothing to do with losing the battle ideas. This has to do with people who are trying to hack our online store, who are trying to tortiously interfere with our relations with multiple businesses. These are people who are trying to actively defame our operations as well as us personally. And they are also, for example, look at a very minor example of how Nick Fuentes went and confronted Ben Shapiro when he was out with his family. That's relatively minor. The behavior that they are engaging in is illegal under federal law, illegal under state law, and also creates a lot of civil liability. So I left these guys alone for a while. They amped it up considerably. And keep in mind, I am not telling you everything yet. There is a lot more, and it's a lot worse than you think. And so, we're just going to, all of this stuff is going to come out eventually. We will talk about some of this stuff eventually. No, Agent Smith, he doesn't have proof of the lies. He told lies himself. He told many lies himself. And so, if he thinks he's telling the truth, fine. Email me, Davey, if you think you're telling the truth. Email me your telephone number and your address, and we will have you served within 1 week. And you can have your day in court. Doesn't matter what state you live in. We've got someone who covers it. And so, this is going to be very, very expensive for you guys. And here's the thing. The ironic thing is that what you've done has actually helped unauthorized grow faster than it has ever grown before. And so you know that we have the resources and that we have the legal talent to deal with this. Let me give you an example. And this is how easily exposed your stuff is. Now, first, I'm going to give you LOL, dox yourself, Davey. You think he's that stupid, dude? Of course I don't think he's that stupid. That's how I know he's lying. No, this has gotten out of hand already. We're dealing with it now. If you notice, we recently concluded a campaign on Indiegogo. And if you notice, we were kicked off of Indiegogo the year before. You think it was just magic? You think it's just coincidence? Now, I'm going to send you a link here. So those of you who have read Corporate Cancer know what I'm talking about here. But this is a piece. I'm just going to demonstrate, because a lot of you little trolls obviously don't want to believe me, which is understandable. Here's a link, okay? Go ahead and check out that link, and then you can see who Amanda Robb is, okay? So, I have to look something up here, or where did I put that? Okay. And okay, so this is going to take a second because I have to actually dig up something. Take a look at that real quick, okay? Okay, so here we go. Does everyone now understand who Amanda Robb is? Okay? You got that now? Welcome, young blood. Okay, does everyone understand who she is now? You've looked at the link. She's the investigative journalist, etc., right? Now, I'm going to read you something. On Tuesday, September 4th, 2018 at 7:58 a.m., Amanda Robb wrote, "Hi, Pam said that I could reach out to you about a story I'm working on. Recently, a project I'm writing about, Alt Hero, migrated from an alt-right crowdfunding platform, Freestarter, to Indiegogo, likely because Freestarter got deplatformed. It, and some related projects, all comics graphic novels, are raising a lot of money on Indiegogo, mostly through anonymous donors. I'm wondering if would be able to detect fraud, a kind of astroturfing, or lots of donations from a single source. Can we make a time to talk? All best, Amanda." And then there's, the landline number, the cell phone number. Then on Monday, October 22nd, 2018 at 8:21 a.m., Amanda Robb wrote, "Hi, we discussed the Alt Hero Q project last month. Indiegogo has since shut it down for violating its terms of service. I'd like to know what changed. All best, Amanda." So that's just two examples of what we can do. Do you think that she ever had any idea that we would acquire her emails? Do you think that we don't know what companies you're targeting? Do you think that they don't talk to me? Do you think that we're not already discussing how to address the problem? The funny thing is, somebody said, "Oh, it's so gay that you're going to do copyright strikes." We're doing that at the request of the companies that you are contacting in an attempt to get us taken down. Do you think that, you actually think that they like this? They don't like this. And so the point is that, Fubar says, "Do you think they didn't try to spike this last campaign on Indiegogo?" Of course. Of course. And so, the thing is that, Kurgan says there's more from Amanda. She harassed a lot of people. She contacted literally 200 people, at least. We haven't even bothered with Amanda. She's got a little bit more leeway because she is actually a professional journalist, and she didn't actually cross any legal lines. She danced up real close to it. If we wanted to, we could have gone after her for tortious interference, but it's not the Is it possible to Demetrios? Yes. Is it possible to copyright the gammas but not copyright strike the various clip channels? Yeah. Don't leave the clip channels alone. We don't care about the clip channels, but because each copyright violation has to be specified. They're all specified separately. It's not like oh, nobody's allowed to do this or that. And so, anyhow, and just so you understand, this is not the first time that we have hunted people down and had them arrested. We've done that 3 times now. I don't even, Mary Tyler Moore, that's a lie, and I don't even know what you're talking about. But no, I haven't told any lies. But again, the point is, these guys wanted the conflict. They demanded the conflict. They've sought the conflict. And now we are going to show up for the conflict. So VFM, those of you who are specialists in the hunting down stuff, you guys know who you are. Get in touch. Put troll hunt in the subject, and I only want VFM to do that. And for those of you who are serious YouTubers who are interested in helping out, who are reprehensibles, then go ahead and get us the information on all of the copyright violators, and we will file official complaints on all of them. And also, since people are claiming that Davy Crocco wants to know the truth, I would like somebody to file complaints for any defamation and libel that is committed there. We can absolutely settle what is true and what is not. And, you know, I understand that, I mean, here's how absolutely, wildly, and ludicrously wrong they are. They still think that nothing's happened with Patreon. Owen hasn't done anything about Patreon. Go look at the at the Patreon terms of use. Go look at the Patreon terms of use. They were just changed on December 19th. One guess why? No, you don't need to worry about, Holly, you guys don't need to worry about going private on the clip channels. The people who are digging up this stuff are perfectly capable of distinguishing between the trolls who are violating copyright and the fans who are just doing their thing. So don't worry about that. May want to repeat that last part. I'm not sure what part that is. You have to understand. You need to be more specific when, like, if you're going to say that's a lie. I see the chat sometimes, you know, a minute or two after you say something, or if you say, I may have to want to repeat that part. What part? Okay. Here, if you don't believe me, I'll read you the relevant section. And of course, if you were even remotely intelligent at all, you'd wonder, why would Vox know something? Why would Vox be up on the Patreon terms of use? Why would he know that they've been changed, and so recently? Okay, here's the relevant section. Down at the bottom, it says, the new terms of use are effective immediately for users joining Patreon on or after December 20th, 2019. Effective for existing users on and applicable to claims not yet asserted by January 1st, 2020. You can find the old terms of use here. Now think about why those were added. Now here's the other interesting thing that was added, which is frankly downright funny. Where do we have this? Dispute resolution. Oh, where is that? Oh, okay. Actually, sorry. The second part I was thinking of actually isn't them. It's somebody else who also modified their terms of use recently. Marty McFly said, maybe because you get a notification. I don't get notifications from them. So, let's see here. Yeah, it was kind of funny because, I mean, the Kurgan mentioned the whole Hugos thing. The funny thing about the Hugos wasn't the first year. The funny thing was in the first year when we took like 60 something of the nominations. The funny thing was when they vowed that it wasn't going to happen again, and they said we wouldn't be able to do it again. And so we took 70. We took even more. And so, I mean, honestly, I really don't want to waste my time on this. I hope that you horrible little people will come forward, take responsibility for what you've done. You know what it is. And then we'll be able to move on, and you'll be able to move on. But if you don't come forward, you try to hide it, and you try to pretend that you didn't do it, and you try to deny, when you're found, you try to deny that it was you and so forth. Understand, we are going to financially break you. It's not just going to be the criminal stuff. It's going to be the civil liability that is attached to the things that you've done. And so, it's up to you. Patreon changed terms again on the 23rd. What? Jeez, I didn't even realize that. That's funny. I'll have to take a look at it. We don't have to pay for lawyers. We have an entire legion of volunteer lawyers. And so, maybe your cybersecurity is great. Maybe you are, that good at hiding your tracks. But everybody makes a mistake. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But keep in mind, we have been geared up to deal with big corporations playing the "we'll bleed you dry" game. We've been geared up to deal with that and deal with that successfully for years. Breathing Bear says, I've noticed 3 or 4 big companies change their terms over the last week. We've updated the terms of use to clarify the dispute resolution and the legal rights of patrons when a creator they support is removed for violating our guidelines. Why do you think that might be? Do you really think that it's an accident? Bink says, who is motivating these trolls? No, this is not a deep state thing. These are angry, bitter little guys. It's possible that some of them were stirred up to it, but I don't get that impression. And some of the stuff that I'm not telling you indicates that it's just pure amateur stuff. So, ankle-biting incels appear to be the most likely culprits. We'll see. There has to be a ringleader for these trolls that are being sent here, bro. There probably is. There probably is a emotional leader of sorts. Obviously the most active one on Reddit is the one who calls himself Real Owen Benjamin. And, we'll just keep I'm a very, very patient guy. I'm a very patient man. it makes no difference to me how long it takes. You know, I like to be left alone. I like to mind my own business. But I haven't been permitted to do that. And so, they can, there's not a single jibe that I haven't heard before from the SJWs, and before that from the liberal Democrats who hated my political column. And so, we're already permanently and always at conflict with the SJWs. It never stops. We're always having to deal with it. So adding this to the list is not a problem. I mean, it's not like we didn't assemble the Legal Legion to go after some moronic copyright violators like Davy Crocco and whoever, and people who are attempting to interfere with our business or who are attempting to slander our business and so forth. We had, it's like, using a sledgehammer against an ant. We assembled the Legal Legion so that we could take on any reason to, because for the most part, we get along with most of these companies. Amazon is smart. I would not want to go up against Amazon, so what did I do? I made sure we set up the Archaven store, and this year, just on the books alone, Archaven did better than Amazon did. It didn't do better than Amazon plus Audible, but and that's starting from nothing. We just created it in last December. So, when you can't fight them, like with Amazon, and we did work it out with Amazon. When they deplatformed us, we did work it out fine. It took us 18 hours and we were back on the platform. Everything was fine. But they are so smart and so powerful that closes about his business dealings. These are things that are all public. Everyone knew what happened when, Amazon took us down for 18 hours. You can't hide that. And then we were back up. Obviously, it happened somehow. And I'm just explaining the reasons for why certain things that are observable have happened. If it's one of Owen's videos, email him. If it's one of my videos, email me. So, but the thing is that, what they don't, one thing that they obviously don't realize is that what they're trying to do when they are emailing people about our business relations, and they're saying, did you know that so-and-so is doing this, and then they try to interfere with your that's tortious interference right there. That's what they're openly admitting to is something that opens them up for a civil lawsuit. And it, especially when you have them talking about how they're intending to do it, they're literally openly confessing to it. And so, the great Trollsby said, why not just address the allegations Davy has raised? Because he has repeatedly lied and he's attempting to harm us. So now we're coming after him. We are going to, I'm absolutely happy to have the truth come out. When we go to court, the truth will come out. Davy had better pray that everything he said is true. But it's not. Yeah, and also I don't think you guys realize how gung-ho, how absolutely gung-ho the Legal Legion is about this stuff. Just to put it in perspective, One of them, the guy who's handling the Patreon situation for Owen, is a rabid puppy. And so, you know, you guys wanted my attention. You guys can find out how fun it is to joke about LOL, Dork Lord, blah blah blah. You're going to find out why the CEO of Google canceled a company-wide meeting because he didn't want the entire discussion of the meeting to appear on my blog. Look it up. Yeah, this one's hilarious. Vox used redacted press instead of Castalia because Castalia was kicked off Indiegogo. I look forward to addressing that entire topic on October 11th, 2021. Yeah, and the same offer goes for Davey Crocco. If you want to have a conversation, if you want to apologize and take down your videos before they're taken down as copyright strikes, I'll give you that opportunity too. I am not particularly interested in you guys. We have much, much bigger conflict that I would rather be spending my time on it. But because of what you collectively have done, it is no longer possible to simply ignore what you're doing. And no, I'm not referring to unauthorized coming down. See, these guys, look, Bill, you're just like a little boy. Quick, Davey, take them down. Vox demanded it. I don't care if he takes them down or not. They're coming down. But I'm giving him an opportunity to get out of this. And you can bluster. Do you think Indiegogo's lawyers didn't bluster? They were Harvard Law, Stanford Law. Do you really think that Patreon didn't bluster? I'm willing to look past most of this stuff because it's been essentially harmless. But a very serious line was crossed. And whoever is responsible knows who they are. And they know why I am this serious about it. And so, either you give up now, or you're going to be begging me for mercy. I've done this before. I'll do it again. And I'll continue to keep doing it as long as people break the law in their attacks on us. And so, it's your call. And just so you understand, we always give this kind of offer to people. When you learn more about what's going on with these different situations, you'll see every single time we initially offer a way out. Why? Because Sun Tzu says, always leave a rat a way to escape. You know? And so you can take that, or you can be proud and stubborn and deal with your fear by trying to deny it, by trying to claim that I'm lying and posturing, because you are someone who lies and postures. I am not. Breathing Bear says, does anyone ever take the way out? Why do you think that we were replatformed in less than a day by Amazon? You know? Why do you think that unauthorized, you can go to unauthorized TV right now. It's all right there. You know? Come on Davy's channel. I'm not going to chat with Davy. If he wants to talk, he can send me his telephone number. I'll give him a call and we'll talk. You know? I am always happy to accept someone's submission. I don't even care about an apology. I don't care what they think. All I care is how they behaved and how they're going to behave in the future. That is the extent of my interest. And so, the thing that's so crazy about this is that we have repeatedly proven ourselves. We've repeatedly delivered exactly what we said we're going to do. Yeah, no. If you just built a proper website, stumped up for the bandwidth, no, we have stumped up for the bandwidth. We're not just building. Here's the thing that you just, it's so frustrating. What we are building is much, much bigger than a site, a proper website. You understand that there are potential weaknesses that go well beyond that. You know, we have a payment system that is going to be unveiled along with all the other stuff in 2020 that is a payment system that doesn't involve credit cards or PayPal or any of that stuff. And so, you know, the whole fact that you think that our using interim steps to get where we want to go is somehow a scam is bizarre. Deb Davis says, are you saying a private admission of wrongdoing will be accepted as an apology? I'm not asking for an apology myself. There is one thing that I can't absolve. And, you know, like I said, I'm only disclosing the things that I am, that I know all the details on, and that it's fine for me to discuss. Watcher Bear says, Vox, that's amazing. Will the payment system be available to general public? It'll be available to everyone who has a bank account. You know, no, I don't expect any of them to take the easy way out. I never do. I mean, you know, one thing that we've learned about SJWs and gammas is that they're in denial. They're in denial right up until, I mean, you know, going back to the Hugos in 2014, you know, they're all like, well, when we said we were going to take it over, they're like, oh, LOL, you'll never do that. Ha ha ha. And then they were like shrieking in horror as one nomination after the next were all sad puppies and rabid puppies. So, you know, it's, yeah. Would you ever consider doing a stream about the dinosaurs? No, it's far too painful for me to even consider the possibility that dinosaurs are fake. I loved dinosaurs when I was a little kid. Can the phone call with you and Davey be recorded? I don't believe that that would be something that we would want to do in public. If we were going to do it in public, we'd just do it on a live stream, right? You know. The Kurgan says, wait, I'm getting it now. The offer of mercy will be rejected, and Vox knows this, so is it really mercy? Would you debate Davey if Nick would debate you? I'm not going... the only time I anticipate debating Davey is when he's cross-examined by our legal team. Welcome, Breathing Bear. What's the bottle on your table? That's Bailey's dark chocolate liqueur. My wife gave it to me for Christmas. So, no, I mean it's not a false offer. Kurgan, you know me better than that. You know, the fact that I don't expect people to behave intelligently doesn't mean that they can't. Does your legal team have worldwide jurisdiction? I understand what you mean, but that question doesn't even make sense. We do have lawyers in, I think we cover probably 34 of the 50 states, but including all the ones that really matter in terms of like companies. Remember, none of this stuff was set up to deal. You know, here's the thing that a lot of people don't necessarily understand, and this is something that, you know, those who actually work in the online space know and get, is that you don't go from point A to point Z in a single step. You do it one thing at a time. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous to think that, you know, you're going to be able to get something up and running sufficiently. I mean, I'll give you an example. We've had Social Galactic operating for like 4 months now. When did you get on, you know? We just opened it up to the first few invites, 2 weeks ago? And there's a lot of you who still are not on yet, who want to be on because you haven't been invited yet and given access. It's coming, one step at a time. And so, that's right, so file your statement of claim. I don't know what you're talking about there. Oh, does she really? Yeah, I mean, you know, one step at a time. You know, we talked about, you know, a lot of people doubted anything was happening with Indiegogo too, right up to the point when Redacted Press launched the Junior Classics campaign. You know, and so you just need to be patient. You know, Tyro Major said, so Davy Crocco's channel got deleted because of you. No, I have said before that I have never once issued a copyright violation. And that is still true as of this moment. It will not be true probably tomorrow. Joel Whitehead, file your statement of claim in the high court of whatever state you think is appropriate. My statement of claim regarding what specifically? I mean, you understand. Do you understand why Patreon changed its terms of use now twice in the last week? Do you really think the Legal Legion isn't very busy filing lots of statement of claim? You know? So, will Castellius Deluxe subscribers get a fancy book, something for Social Galactic? Yes, they will. So, anyhow, that's it for tonight. But thank you all. If you want to get in on the fun, subscribe to Unauthorized TV or VFM. You know what to do. And those of you who want to help hunt the gammas, read up on the rules for copyright violations, send them, and we will get on it. So have a good evening. Thank you all for your support. Trolls, you have 24 hours from now to get in touch with me, and we'll talk. Have a good evening. I'm Vox Day. This is the Dorkstream.